Volume 3. This text records the geography and hydrology of Byakuyakoku, with the sealing of the depths and the emigration of the people of Watatsumi Island, as well as the passing of long years. This book is now useless. The land beneath the apothic depths are vastly different from those on the surface, to the extent that all surface-derived common sense must be abandoned down below. All we formerly knew of land and sea was given unto us directly by the heavens. In this new world of ours, we must begin groping even for the simplest mythologies anew. Oh, you who come after, read these words. Do not take the life you lead for normalcy. Even if after 100 or 1,000 years, people should grow used to life down here, always remember, these days with neither sun nor moon are abnormal. Even if some sage were to draw us the sun, there would surely be filthy wretches who will borrow its light to cast long shadows over us. This book is intended to help people understand the world they live in, and to never forget our desire to return to the light. This book has been constantly edited, redacted, and modified over the years. Even the name of the book's title has seen change from Apothic Earth to Tokoyokoku before becoming Byakuyakoku. Later, due to the grace of Watatsumi, the people of the depths would return to the sea surface. But it seems like Apothic Earth has some special meaning, and it has not been universally changed throughout the text. Byakuyakoku has no mountains to speak of, and so it is pointless to speak of them. However, our priests and sages have detected something. Even in these depths, the power of the undying wind and the water still remains. Personification of the undying wind is known as Tokoyo Okami and is poetically rendered the 1,000 winds, or the 1,000 winds of time. Water, on the other hand, is the might of the bishop realm, represented by the baptismal bishops. We have already developed a certain field of study regarding the relationship between sun, fire, wind, and water. As such, both hydrology and the undying wind must be considered before undertaking any projects of civil engineering. The borders of Byakuyakoku are marked by the 3 corners. These mark the limits of the seesaw clash between humanity and the bishops. During the era of Byakuyakoku, towers of the 3 realms were built at these 3 corners, used to harmonize the 3 realms. The ancient names have been lost to time, and they were renamed after the coming of Watatsumi. These towers are exceedingly important, and they are not in locations aligned with either wind or water. Rather, their purpose is to stabilize the tendencies of Byakuyakoku and control its winds and waters. If these towers were to be imperiled, so would the entire nation. As such, they have been hidden using secret arts. Only the shrine maidens and the vessels of Watatsumi can summon them forth. The narrows were, in the earliest times, sandwiched between the mountain face and an area known as the Roundlands, thus earning that location its name. However, the exceedingly strange tectonic shifts in Byakuyakoku caused the Roundlands to collapse into the depths, thus causing the narrows to widen significantly. The Serpent's Heart. From the first time our ancestors discovered this place, it had already played host to a unique phenomenon in which space itself might overlap in a certain locale. Later, those who came before us would utilize this phenomenon by creating the serpent's heart. It would be used to guard secrets, imprison criminals, and worship the great imaginary serpent Ouroboros. In the earliest time, this place was called Delphi, the land of snakes. This name did not change even after the arrival of Watatsumi or Mikami. Ancient art depicts the scaleless serpent as Ouroboros and the coral-adorned serpent as Orobashi. Dainichi Mikoshi. The earliest name of this place was Helios, and it was the high tower built by the sage Aburaku, standing for earth, the element between wind and water. According to prophecy, this was likely the sun that the sage displayed, used to light those lightless caverns. And just as those prophecies suggested, it was also later used to cast a great shadow over the nation. This text, once a critical document for survival, is now a relic, a detailed record of the physical world of Byakuyakoku. It is a cautionary guide written for the descendants, imploring them to remember the world they were stolen from, the world of the surface. The text opens with a stark warning: the laws of the dark, death, render all surface common sense useless. And even if they find solace, the reader must never forget the unnatural state of their existence. Quote, even if after 100 or 1,000 years, people should grow used to life down here, always remember, these days with neither sun nor moon are abnormal. It serves as a reminder to cling to the collective desire to return to the light. Over time, the name of this very land shifted from the pragmatic, apothic earth to the poetic Tokuyokoku, and finally, Byakuyakoku. The scholars of Byakuyakoku focused on the core elements of their enclosed world: the undying wind, water, and sunfire or earth. Though without true mountains or sky, an elemental force remains. This power is the undying wind, personified as Tokoyo Okami, the thousand winds of time. The element water represents the ancient might of the bishop realm, symbolized by the fearsome baptismal bishops. The third element, sunfire or earth, standing between wind and water, is symbolized by the great artificial sun. The core physical landmarks are detailed, often revealing ancient secrets. The border of Byakuyakoku, these are defined by the three corners, points where humanity and the bishops engage in a precarious seesaw claw. Here, the tower of the three realms were constructed, serving not as landmarks but as stabilization points to control the very tendencies of the land, its winds and waters. They are so vital that they are concealed by the secret arts, known only to a trusted few. The serpent's heart. This unique location was chosen by the ancient for a reason. Space itself naturally overlaps here. This phenomenon was utilized to build a secure complex for guarding state secrets, imprisoning criminals and, crucially, worshipping the great imaginary serpent Ouroboros. Its oldest name, Delphi, the land of snakes. Dainichi Mikoshi, the highest tower, was originally named Helios. Built by the imprisoned sage Aburaku, it stands as the literal and metaphorical sun of the realm, However, the text acknowledges the dark prophecy. Just as a broad light, it will be used to cast a great shadow over the nation.